Alicia Garza, it's so exciting to be here with you at She the People. You have so much in your background that is so rich, and we'll get to that in a minute. You're co-founder of the Black Lives Matter movement. You're with the Black Futures Lab right now. But what I want to actually start with is a question about food. Because I read an article in the Washington Post that talked about how activism and food are really closely related for you. I'm sorry that we can't cook together because I heard you make a mean fish fillet. I do. But I'm curious, can you say a little bit about how those two things are combined for you?
I just think we need to be nourished in all different ways. And one of the major things that is important about organizing is building relationships. And what better way to build a relationship than over food?
Yeah, absolutely. Great. So one of the things that you said in your speech that really spoke to me was about this idea of dreaming in black.
Yes.
Right? And so I'd love to ask you, what do you dream about?
Oh, I dream about freedom. I dream about us having the things that we need to live well and to live full and dignified lives. And I also dream about naming lipsticks and nail polishes for a living.
That's phenomenal. Yeah. Do you have any names you want to share?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. They're still proprietary.
Okay. Oh, that's great. We'll look for that in the future. Can you tell me a little bit about your work with Black Futures Lab, in particular the census that's being done? Daily Kos has written about it. I've written about it, and
Yes.
people are really excited to learn more about that.
Yes.
So what are you hoping that we learn from the census that tells us more about Black communities and can inform a political and social agenda for Black communities?
I'm hoping that we learn a little bit more about what keeps Black communities up at night and what we dream about for our futures. And I'm hoping that that information will influence and impact legislation and policy in cities and states. And I'm not just hoping, I mean, this is the work that we're doing. So we've talked to 20,000 Black people thus far, and from a really wide range of backgrounds. And the reason that we're doing that is because we realize that not all of our communities are being engaged. And when not all of our communities are engaged, we only get a small piece of understanding of what's going on in our communities, and then we get policies and laws that reflect a very small piece of what's happening in our communities. So we're really looking at this as a project that is trying to help democratize elections and electoral organizing.
Yeah, for sure. You mentioned something in your speech that really gave me pause, and it just reflected so true about how Black women are so often asked to save democracy and to save the world. We're thanking Black women, but we're not investing in Black women, and we're not giving Black women resources.
That's right.
And I guess beyond sort of fund Black women, trust Black women, pay Black women, what do you think we can do to change that?
I think we need to listen to Black women, and I think that we also need to make sure that Black women are in positions of power. We are, as Linda said earlier, we're the ones who are closest to the problem, and so we have a really unique view on how to resolve those issues. And when Black women aren't making decisions about where resources go, when we're not making decisions about how our communities are being shaped, then that means that we're on the menu instead of at the table.
Yes, absolutely. Well, another great food metaphor. And since it's lunchtime, I will let you go. But thank you so much for the opportunity to speak with you.
Great to be with you.
And thank you for the work that you're doing.
Thank you.
Great, thanks.
Yeah.